Good afternoon, everybody. I am Kaustup Panse. I'm a mechanical engineer, as she rightly said, but not a legal advisor, right? I myself have what advice is taken from a legal guy. Yeah. So, topic for today is, as you can see on the board, is 1 gram of leadership. Can anyone among you just try to understand or decipher for me what the topic would mean? How to be? How to be a leader? Come again? Anybody else? Yeah. See, leadership, friends, is a topic which has got about uh, maybe 1 lakh plus books on written on it. For me, what it means is that leadership is a very complex matter. The other thing that it means for me is that there is no one particular style for being a leader. So, when leadership is that complex, we want now to have simple doses in 1 gram which you can apply to make big changes. So the whole 10, I think 15 slide presentation is about how by making minimum effort, each one of us can have maximum benefits. Have you seen a trim tab in ships or aeroplanes? A trim tab is a simple device which is also called as the rudder of the rudder. For any ship, a very big ship or an aeroplane, to change its direction, it requires a rudder. Now, to change the direction of that rudder, a trim tab is used which creates differential pressure in the opposite direction. So, 1 gram of leadership is going to act as a trim tab, means to turn or to change the direction of a very big vessel, you do not require equivalent force. You only require a simple, precise instrument which, when applied precisely, gives you the desired change. Yeah. So these kind of trim tabs are called as high leverage points. So when you are going to pursue your entrepreneurship, when you are going to be into the executive jobs after your MBA or after your engineering, the first thing that you should utilize on your jobs to make a brilliant career out of it is use points of high leverage. Need not get into big books of leadership, did not borrow from all the management guru, koi zarurat nahi uska. What you can do is you can learn simple 1 gram of leadership, but the whole idea of that should be the effort should be minimum and the benefit should be maximum. Would you all love to know what are the 1 gram leadership points that I have brought about? Can I see a loud yes? Yeah. See, Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, says that only three things are natural in any entrepreneurship or in any kind of organization. That is friction, confusion, and underperformance. That whenever a group of people are working together for a same goal, friction is the most natural thing that comes into it. Second is confusion. And third is underperformance. Apart from all that, everything requires leadership. So leadership is all about provide direction, getting everybody to communicate, and third, remove the conflict, and finally, to make everybody perform nicely. Now let's look into team communication. See, when people talk to each other in organization, they believe that there is a hollow pipe between the speaker and the listener. That everything that the speaker says, 100% passes through the hollow pipe into the listener's mind. But this analogy is misinterpretation. The better analogy is when a speaker talks, the listener only understands the data which is going through a needle's eye. So whenever you are communicating in an organization, when you are talking about getting the job done, you have to understand that everything that you say does not cross over to the other person. Hence, communication is the bedrock of everything. Now, In Calcutta, some years back, there was a carpet merchant. And this carpet merchant was having a look at his most beautiful carpet in the shop. And he realized that there is a bump, there is a kind of, the carpet has come up in the center part of it. So he instantly jumped on that bump. And when he jumped on the bump, the carpet flattened out. But as it flattened out at the center, there was another bump in the right corner. So he instantly stepped out to the right corner. There it flattened out. There was a bump in the left corner. So perplexed and confused and little animated and agitated, he pulled the carpet from one of the corners and came out an angry snake slithering at him. So communication is like that. Communication is, with communication you try to solve a certain problem, but when you try to solve that problem, another problem erupts. So whatever solution, so yesterday's solution becomes today's problem. So you have to communicate in a manner that it does not breed more problems. Now communication sometimes is also counterproductive. A subordinate walks into a boss's office very excitedly, very animatedly, coming out with a project idea how to go about the next avenue of business, and the boss listens to that idea, and just as the subordinate completes the idea, he just says, "Your idea is fantastic, but I would like to see that this also gets implemented." So the moment the subordinate has listened to the magical or maybe the unmagical word "but," all his energies deflect. Now the boss's approach was to add value to the conversation. He wanted to contribute, but instead of being productive, he has become counterproductive. So communication, if not done carefully, becomes counterproductive as well. Now, this is an organization called as Landmark, which completely focuses on business leadership based on communication. Landmark believes that there is immense loss of productive hours, a lot of performances getting underrated, a lot of communication mishaps which are happening because people are not transparent to each other. Jack Welch, the former CEO of General Electric, also cites that because people are not frank to each other, because people are not candid with each other, there is lot of loss of business opportunity, right? So Landmark establishes its business courses on communication, how to express regret, how to express guilt, how to be not nice on the face and being very candid, that this is what I feel, this is what I believe, to tell people that this is where a correction is required. Me many times lot of hold our opinions, hold our regrets, do backbiting, do talk at people's back. Why? To being nice. So Landmark coaches people to be nice. So that is again 1 gram of leadership, that under the carpet of organization work, if communication does not happen well, the problem only shifts from one part of the carpet to the other part. Now, let's take another 1 gram example in leadership. See, in sales, there are notably 100 literatures, right from Brian Tracy to Zig Ziglar to Richard Goitmer to lot of people are there, right? But if one thing stands out as 1 gram of leadership is this. See, whenever a bad event happens to you, you have to deal with that setback. But the people who are not able to deal with the setback of the event are people who think that whenever a bad event happens, आप लोग भी इसको रियलाइज कर सकते हो, आपके साथ जो भी कोई एक अनडिजायर्ड इवेंट हुआ है, मैं जो अभी 3 शब्द बोलूंगा वो आप आपके मन में रिकलेक्ट करके देखिए. Let's say for example, an undesired event has happened to you. If you believe that this setback is permanent in nature, nothing can be done about it. If this setback is pervasive, it is not limited to one area. Let's say for example, you have got a KT or maybe you had a certain campus selection which has not happened, if you believe that not only this company has rejected, there is something in me that all the companies will reject me, then you are saying that this event is pervasive. Third is, if you take personal blame for the event, I'm not saying about accountability, I'm saying if you believe that there is something which is wrong in you, that is why this setback or failure has happened, then the way you have explained things is a pessimistic way of dealing with stuff. So when you have this kind of explanatory style, you will not be able to deal with the failure. But instead, when an undesired event happens to you, if you say that this event is temporary in nature, it has got a specific cause, and it has happened because of some other circumstance, this is 1 gram of leadership. Anytime a bad event happens to you, whenever you face a challenge, if you can say this is temporary, this has got specific reason which I can deal with, and it has happened not because of something inherent in me, but because of something outside, you will be able to deal with it correctly. It could be a small KT in the engineering years, it could be a placement issue in the MBAs. Whatever it is, you can convert a bad event into a good event by just changing your explanatory style. You need not read great books, you need not do courses on positivity, you just need to change the way you explain that event. Moving on. Another 1 gram leadership thing is, see, everything that you do as an executive or everything that you do as an entrepreneur requires time. And busy executives or entrepreneurs are, कितना भी आप काम कर ले, समय आपको कम ही पड़ता है. The reason is very, very simple. Time is such a resource which is inelastic. It cannot be stretched. It's a resource which has got a shelf life. Every passing second, nothing out of it can come back. You cannot hire anybody to extend the time. You cannot get time on rent. So an executive who outperforms everybody in productivity and efficiency is the one who is very careful about his use of time. So this is President Dwight Eisenhower, the 34th President of America. He spent 8 years into office, not doing anything on time management, but only using these 4 blocks. He divided his tasks into 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is schedule it, second is eliminate it, third quadrant would be delegated to other people, and the fourth quadrant is do it today. For his entire tenure of 8 years, he only used these 4 boxes. That is 1 gram of leadership for me. Not using any fast track fad of management tool, anything which is advanced coming out of Harvard and Stanford, but only one tool allowed him to manage his, he's probably the most productive president America has ever had, Dwight Eisenhower. The picture is not clear, but can you see some color boxes? Yeah, I'll just explain it from here. See, another time management principle, before you can even attempt to do any time management, the first principle of time management is to not directly manage your time. The first thing that you do is, just as you keep record of your expenses, wherever you have spent money, the first thing that a busy executive does, or something that you have to do when you get into jobs, is keep a record that how you are spending time. Unless and until a busy executive or an entrepreneur knows that where is he spending the time, he will never be able to match it. This is a snapshot or a screenshot of my records. Everything that I will be telling today is something which I practically use all these years. So this is a snapshot of that. If you can see the blue boxes, the blue boxes in this week are far and rare and far. This is the number of scheduled tasks that I have completed. The black boxes, which are much more in number, are the boxes where I have done unscheduled tasks. Even after planning my entire day, when I kept the records in real time, I observed that I am doing lot of unscheduled tasks, which could be low priority tasks. So the number one reason why I could be unproductive is not lack of time, but not doing the task which I have planned. Certain pleasures, certain temptations. कोई आ जाता है ऑफिस में, आप बात करने लग जाते हो. A customer comes in who you have served 2 years. It was not a part of your appointment, but you need to handle it. Whatever it does. So when I understood that this is how I am wasting my time, if you can see the next week, I made certain changes. I started coming early to office. In the last week, I had wasted 712 minutes because of coming late to office. Because as an entrepreneur, you have the freedom to come to office. But I wasted about 712 minutes. Because I had real-time records, I could make a course correction. And in the second consecutive week, I think apart only from Tuesday, I kept my timings. Now in this snapshot, you could see a lot of blue boxes, which are scheduled ones. You will see still black boxes where I have, जहाँ पे मेरा पैर थोड़ा फिसल गया unscheduled task करने के लिए. But it has been reduced because now I am aware that I waste a lot of time. So this is another 1 gram of leadership. The most important thing that we are doing is I currently have an organization where there are about 60 people and about 2 divisions out of it, about 6 to 7 people directly report to me. So out of those 2 divisions, I have started implementing a practice. Whatever I have to discuss, whatever these people have to tell me, it should be, there's a timer, whether we are on a video conference call or whether we are talking in a physical presence of each other, we only talk for 15 minutes. It's a rule. Whatever gets discussed, whatever action items are decided within those 15 minutes, only those are part of MOM. Otherwise, everything is put to the next day. Because otherwise what happens, there is no boundary to the kind of work that we do, which consequently ends up wasting a lot of time. This is another phenomena which I have started lately using. This is called as a time chunk. A time chunk in time management is a continuous, uninterrupted, completely disconnected large chunk of time. शेड्यूल को इस तरह से अरेंज करना होता है कि you spend 90 minutes on an important task without picking up a phone call, without going to loo, without having a sip of water, only doing and focusing the important work in those 90 minutes. See, sometimes, when you're solving problems as an entrepreneur, let's say, for example, the cure is worse than the disease. Whatever solutions you are providing to the problems, the way you are designing those solutions worsens the situation. The cure is worse than the disease. If you see this graph, I have a problem at this area, this red block. Whatever solution I have applied has given me a short-term improvement, but in the long term, it has worsened. Let's say, for example, somebody is having stress, work-related stress. He starts to consume liquor. He gets immediate relief, but in the long term, it will create more stress for him. This is a rehabilitation organization at Pune called as Muktangan. It is probably the Asia's biggest rehab organization. I had an interview with the director. 1 gram leadership is another point that I've got here. In these centers, there are addicts of liquor and drugs who have been consuming that substance for more than 15 years, 18 years, 20 years. And what does this Muktangan do to get them rid of all that? They use a simple 1 gram leadership tool that is teaching these guys self-discipline. They give no pills at all. There is no other thing apart from self-discipline. It's a 30-day program. Again, a 1 grammer for me. And finally, to conclude my today's presentation, see, 1 gram is about doing a small thing which yields big result. If you all want to make a very bright career, there are 2 1 gram things which I would like to share and end my discussion today. First is learning. If you focus on learning from each and every person that you meet, each and every day that you go and spend in the office or in the college, nobody can stop you from having a wonderful career. और कुछ करने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. This 1 gram task of learning from every person, of learning from every day, will itself make a very bright career. And to conclude, if you are a giver, if you are a giver at workplace, whether you help people, support them, whether you appreciate them, praise them, think of their interest, if you are a good listener, if you are a contributor, according to the organization scientist Adam Grant, nobody can be stopping you from having a. So I wish you all a great career, and thanks the TEDx team for inviting me today. And it was a fabulously organized event. Thank you.